You've seen balloons set, haven't you? So stately they ascend. It is as swans discarded you for duty's diamond. Their liquid feet so softly out upon a sea of blonde. They spurn the air as 'twere too mean for creatures so renowned. Their ribbons just beyond the eye, they struggle, some, for breath, and yet the crowd applaud below. They would not encore death. The gilded creature strains and spins, trips, frantic, in a tree, tears open her imperial veins, and tumbles in the sea. The crowd retire with an oath. The dust and streets go down, and clerks in counting rooms observe 'twas only a balloon. A thought went up my mind today that I have had before, but did not finish. Some way back, I could not fix the year, nor where it went, nor why it came the second time to me, nor definitely what it was. Have I the art to say? But somewhere in my soul, I know I've met the thing before. It just reminded me, 'twas all, and came my way no more. A first youth coming in a stranger's house, a first fair going, and the bells rejoice, a first exchange of what hath mingled, been, for lot, exhibited to faith alone. Out of sight, what of that? See the bird? Reach it, curve by curve, sweep by sweep, round the steep air. Danger! What is that to her? Better 'tis to fail there than debate here. Blue is blue, the world is through. Amber, amber, do, seek, friend, and see. Heaven is shy of earth, that's all. Bashful heaven, thy lover small, hide, too, from thee. No matter, now, sweet, but when I'm Earl, won't you wish you'd spoken? That dull girl? Trivial a word, just trivial, a smile. But won't you wish you'd spared one, when I'm Earl? I shan't need it, then. Crests will do, equals on my buckles, on my belt, too. Ermine, my familiar gown. Say, sweet, then, won't you wish you'd smiled just me upon? Suspense is hostiler than death. Death, though so ever broad, is just death, and cannot increase. Suspense does not conclude, but perishes to live anew, but just anew to die. Annihilation, plated flesh with immortality. Life and death and giants, such as these, are still minor apparatus, hopper of the mill, beetle at the candle, or fife's fame, maintain, by accident, that they proclaim. The grace myself might not obtain, confer upon my flower, refracted but a countenance, for I inhabit her. I sometimes drop it for a quick, the thought to be alive, anonymous delight to know and matter to conceive, in souls of woe so monstrous that did it tear all day, without an instant's respite, to look too far, to die. Delirium diverts the wretch for whom the scaffold neighs. The hammock's motion lulls the heads so close on paradise. A reef crawled easy from the sea, eats off the brittle line. The sailor doesn't know the stroke until he's past the pain. Publication is the auction of the mind of man. Poverty be justifying for so foul a thing. Possibly, but we would rather from our garret go white unto the white Creator than invest our snow. Thought belonged to him who gave it, then to him who bare his corporeal illustration. Sell the royal air in the parcel, be the merchant of the heavenly grace, but reduce no human spirit to disgrace of price. The sunrise runs for both. The east, her purple trough, keeps with the hill. The noon unwinds her blue to one breath cover two, remotest still. Nor does the night forget a lamp for each to set, wicks wide away. The north, her blazing sign, erects an iodine till both can see. The midnight's dusky arms clasp hemispheres and homes, and so upon her bosom, one and one upon her hem, both lie. Strong draughts of their refreshing minds to drink enables mine through desert or the wilderness, as bore it sealed wine, to go elastic, or as one the camel's trait attained. How powerful the stimulus of an hermetic mind! Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held but just ourselves and immortality. We slowly drove, he knew no haste, and I had put away my labor and my leisure too, for his civility. We passed the school where children strove at recess in the ring. We passed the fields of gazing grain. We passed the setting sun, or rather, he passed us. The dews drew quivering and chill, for only gossamer my gown, my tippet only tulle. We paused before a house that seemed a swelling of the ground. The roof was scarcely visible, the cornice in the ground. Since then, 'tis centuries, and yet feels shorter than the day I first surmised the horses' heads were toward eternity. Fame of myself to justify all other cloud it be, superfluous, an instance beyond necessity. Fame of myself to lack, although my name be else supreme. This were an honor, honorless, a futile diadem. rest at night, the sun from shining, nature, and some men rest at noon, some men, while nature and the sun go on. The world feels dusty when we stop to die. We want the dew, then honors taste dry. Flags vex a dying face, but the least fan stirred by a friend's hand cools like the rain. Mine be the ministry when thy thirst comes, and Hybla balms dews of Thessaly to fetch. The day undressed herself, her garter was of gold, her petticoat of purple plain, her dimities as old, exactly as the world, and yet the newest star enrolled upon the hemisphere be wrinkled, much as her, too near to God to pray, too near to heaven to fear. The lady of the Occident retired without a care, her candle so expire, the flickering be seen on a ball of mast and Bosphorus and dome and window pane. The beggar lad dies early, but somewhat in the cold, and somewhat in the trudging feet, and haply in the world, the cruel, smiling, bowing world that took his cambric way, now heard the timid cry for bread. Sweet Lady, Charity, among redeemed children, if trudging feet may stand, the barefoot time forgotten, so the sleet, the bitter wind, the childish hands that teased for pence, lifted adoring, then, to him who never ragged, coat did supplicate in vain. I meant to find her when I came. Death had the same design, but the success was his, it seems, and the surrender mine. I meant to tell her how I longed for just this single time, but death had told her so the first, and she had passed with him. To wonder now is my repose. To rest would be a privilege of hurricane to memory and me. A south wind has a pathos of individual voice, as one detect on landings and immigrants' address, a hint of ports and peoples, and much not understood for the farness and for the foreignhood. No prisoner be where liberty himself abide with thee,